Beautiful people, today we have the best playstyle combinations by position, and I'm focusing on playstyle plus additions. That's the only disclaimer. And if you're in New York City, Anders and Umit are both in town this Saturday. Hit the link, make sure to RSVP. It's a 64-person tournament, first come, first serve. I'm just gonna leave that here. I would love to see you. These are my 5 preferred play styles. That's how I've set this up. This is the combination when possible. Let's talk fullbacks. Whipped pass, the crossing. It opens up the doors. You get different animations, different levels of facilitation. Jockey, personal preference with the turning, the resurgence, the recycle. Nice. Relentless. With fullbacks in particular, I can't have these guys running out of gas. Long ball pass, maybe self-explanatory. Been playing a lot of this year's game. And then anticipate, which is sort of the bread and butter when it comes to defensive play styles. And as an added sprinkle, if you get fortunate enough to have rapid or quick step or technical, anything with a little bit of dribbling or separation, 2 thumbs up. When it comes to fullbacks and preferred builds, if you go too small, you lose out on some of the defensive options. You go too big, the players become clunky, and you no longer have the offensive ingenuity. But I've got you covered because I've put together 3 main types of fullback. The attacking fullback, that's going to be a main focal point. Someone like a Roberto Carlos who can actually score goals. We've watched back. We've seen that throughout his career. She also has whipped, rapid, trivela. Not a lot to complain about, but he's going to push the agenda forward, but expect to be active on the offensive end. Otherwise, you would not use Roberto Carlos. The same could be said with someone like João Cancelo, who you might not see in action as much now, but if you were using his team of the season, it was for the long ball pass or the trivela, the switch of the pitch, left back, right back. It was more offensive focused. The defensive fullback, self-explanatory. Kyle Walker comes straight to mind. You've got Jockey, which helps tremendously because if there's ever been a critique, some of his turning, not necessarily his strongest point. He has relentless, rapid, quick step, but he's not necessarily going to be someone you lean on for goal scoring know-how. Same could be said with his English counterpart, brand spanking new, Reece James. He's got Jockey. I love using him from a defensive perspective, but I know that when I need to innovate, there are better fullbacks to do that type of job. Which brings us to number 3, a balanced fullback. And I'm not saying any of these are better or worse than the others. It's just a matter of preference. A good balanced example would be that new Capdevia who came back into action, got a little bit of everything, whip pass, jockey, relentless, even the body type or the build, not too big, not too small. He can do plenty for you on the virtual pitch. If you got that cash flow, Mendy could be another pickup for you. Relentless, jockey, long ball, just an athlete, given no mercy out wide. Many controllers have been lost trying to break down Mendy. Let's discuss center backs. As for play styles, they shift up a little bit. We have more of a defensive focus. I love anticipate. You knew that. Aerial, gotta win some headers. Jockey, again, with the turning, especially with big body type center backs, Jockey can shift their movement entirely. I promise you. Bruiser, just get stuck in, and then long ball pass, if you can get it, it's definitely an added helper. The preferred build is relatively simple. When I'm looking at center backs, I'd prefer 6'2", 6'3", someone with some size, large and in charge. There are 2 main styles. Number 1, I call the bodyguard, doesn't leave your sight. A Virgil van Dijk, who has the long ball pass, he has anticipate. Even his 89 overall had aerial, which we were trying to figure out why he was so overpowered, but at the end of the day, he's 6'4", and he's got that aura. Next door neighbor, Saliba, jockey, aerial, anticipate, he's lengthy, he's just taking up space, moving folks around. There's a certain presence. It's undeniable. Number 2, I call it the active center back, and if you do a lot of manual defending, this might be for you. The epitome, Eder Militao. Aerial, anticipate, jockey. I'm telling you, the agility, the chase back, it's authentic. If you like that type of feel, he'll give you everything you're looking for. That new Rafa Marquez, would recommend. Good track record. Again, he's not that big of a center back. In fact, when you do have the ball with him, if anything, there's a little more confidence or cadence with some of the passing. Feels more like a holding mid, but he's got the long ball. He's got anticipate. I've enjoyed using him. I would recommend. You're paying next to nothing. Let's talk about the midfield. And I'm primarily going to focus with center mids and holding mids in this category. Attackers will have their own section. Playstyle wise, I love having technical in the midfield. You can turn and take space, and it just allows you to alleviate pressure and find options, orchestrate attacks. And then the passing playstyles are crucial. Incisive pass, fantastic. If you can get a long ball pass or a ping pass, you're going to be able to put together so much with your build-up play. And then I would say even more so if you're looking for a holding mid. But if you get anticipate, it's such a nice touch. Even for someone who's a little more box-to-box, the tackles are stronger. They're more prevalent or relevant. You notice them. I love that. With the midfield, there are 3 main types in my viewpoint. Number 1 being a gladiator. This guy is going to go to battle for you. Rude Hullet. Let's have an introduction. Often a little bit larger. Rude also has the ping pass. He has anticipate. He's difficult to attach playstyles because Rude Hullet is a man on a mission, and he kind of fits into his own category to a certain degree. If you've been playing FIFA for quite some time, we used to have the combination with him and Vieira, who's another gladiator type. Again, 6'4", anticipate, block, bruiser, first touch. He's basically a center back playing as a CDM. But if you're looking for that stopper style of holding midfielder, one of, if not the best to do it. Number 2, the Maestro. Perfect example would be a Modric. Technical, ping pass, anticipate, quick turning, has enough defending to still get back, still break up some plays. Not the biggest body type, and he's not a specialist when it comes to defending, but the way that he finds space in the facilitation, it gives you something that makes it different. Same could be said with Tony Cruz. I would actually focus on the 94 just because the playstyle mix up. You got long ball pass, anticipate, ping pass, your pinpoint. Anything and everything is on display. And you can kind of get an idea what a Maestro feels like, give or take. Typically not the biggest of players, but they always find those little moments, lanes of space, and they take advantage every single time. And then number 3 is the classic. Maybe you look at this as more of a box-to-box. I'd start out with a Jude Bellingham, go team of the season, technical, ping pass, anticipate. Body type is right. He can attack space. He can chase back. You're not having liability going forward, and you've still got the ability to run all game long. A lot of physical numbers. What's right is right. 99 Enzo. Congrats to Argentina. Copa America winners. Messi adding to his accolades and achievements, but he's got pinged, he's got anticipate, he's got relentless, which is not bad for a box-to-box either. Again, gets into the trenches, can give you plenty of offense, can give you plenty of defense, can control a midfield. And this is what I look for between the selection. I will say this, the type of center mid that you want, the size will impact the position. General rule of thumb, I usually go for players that are at least 5'9" or 5'10". Just helps with the interceptions and the frame coverage as a general rule. Wingers, talking about offense, boys and girls. You still got whipped pass, you need that. I'm telling you, angles are different, passing options different, technical, the way you can turn someone, a little turn and burn, finesse shot, especially after some of these patches. It's been on the up and up. I like having quick step. You could even insert maybe rapid there, but something to, again, attack the sidelines, attack the end lines. I prefer quick step. And then Trivela is still something I look for. It gives me a little more versatility. I can open up for a shot. I can do different passes or crosses. It's just different animations. At the end of the day, you want dangerous wingers. And if you can get 5-star skills and a 5-star weak foot, happy days. A few different examples of some dangerous or some threats. Vinny, that's right. Vinny Jr. indeed. Quick step, finesse shot, technical, Trivela. He's kind of got a little bit of everything. And when we're talking about wingers in particular, I'd like them to have maybe 3 of the above mentioned. Put it into motion. Ronaldinho's got unique animations. He has the quick step. He has the finesse shot. His trickster skill execution is special. It's unique to him. Jairzinho, quick step, technical, whipped pass. We like all that. It comes together. Brazilian flair. Saka, again with the finesse, the technical, the whipped. Are you feeling a theme? It's not rocket science. It's FC calculations. I would even throw Xavi Simons if you want someone who's a lot cheaper. Similar programming. Technical, Trivela. He's also got rapid. Again, you can kind of interchange rapid and quick step. They don't do the exact same thing, but explosive dribbles, give or take, separation that's being created, any sort of margin that you can gain, that's going to help you out. We move. Prime time. Strikers. What are we doing? Finesse shot. Got to be on deck. Just the finishing. Elite. It's not going to be a surprise, but we've got multiple shooting attributes. I want Trivela. I'd like to have power shot, especially with the cancellations. Aerial. Even more so if you're aiming for the knockdowns, corner kicks, set pieces. And the technical is still a blessing. If you turn someone, or even if you have a striker that maybe doesn't have that breakaway speed naturally, a little R1 dribbling, and you've created something. As per usual, we have types. And in this case, we have 3 different types of strikers. Number 1 being well-versed. Cristiano Ronaldo, well-versed. He has the finesse shot. He has aerial, but you're probably not using him solely for aerial. It's just an added bonus. He has rapid as well, and At the end of the day, if you played him alone, it would not be a problem. I need to know that he could play alone. I'm not going to have a concern about having a striker on an island by himself or by herself. Henry fits into this perfectly as well. Doesn't have all the collective of play styles. He's got finesse shot. I like first touch if you're whipping in balls, especially if you're using the driven pass. Definitely makes a difference in traffic. But Thierry Henry, similar to Ronaldo, if he gives you a turn and a step over, he's got elite level breakaway pace, good skill execution, and can finish from everywhere. Number 2, and we've never seen this so powerful in any previous installment, the target man. Maybe it's Haaland's fault. He fits into this mold, 6'5", brand new with the 99. We could talk about that option in particular because EA's giving him the finesse shot. He's got aerial, he's got rapid, even has press proven, which isn't that important in the attacking realm, at least in my opinion, preferred in the midfield. You could just lob it up to Haaland and good things are going to happen. And that's sort of what I mean by target man. I'm not saying that I'm promoting this, it's just part of the game. And if you don't go Haaland, go for the cheap option with Sorloth. Again, 6'4", 6'5", Trivela, aerial, Lob City, slam dunk, alley-oop, knockdown every day of the week. Number 3, I call this a secondary striker. And the perfect example that comes to mind would be a Griezmann, who is not the most elite when it comes to breakaway, but he is so good as a secondary striker, playing off another striker because he has the finesse shot. He opens up his body so well. He's perfect for the role. He even has passing play styles. What a nice added touch. You got to do some 1-2s. You've got the incisive. You got the tiki-taka. You got a little separation with the quick step. There's a lot to appreciate. And often with your secondary striker, they're going to be a little smaller. You might struggle to play them alone. Another example that comes to mind is Mia Hamm. She has been fantastic this year. But at 5'5", as the game progressed and we had more patches and updates and better defenders, and I swear the defender just kept growing, I found it more difficult to use Mia Hamm if I did not have another striker with her. Someone a little bit larger that could win balls in the air or take down crosses. She's got rapid, she's got power shot. She doesn't necessarily follow the playstyle packaging, but is super qualified in this department. She's authentic with the passing and the playmaking ability, but there is nothing fraudulent about Mia Hamm, which seems like a lovely place to close out the video. Let me know your thoughts about playstyle combinations. These are my priorities when I'm looking at players, when I'm putting them into motion in these different positions. This is what I want to bring together, and I will answer everything down below, and I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.